Hi there crafters, Louise with you, and for today's YouTube share I have a free sketch, so go ahead and use this sketch as inspiration. Please feel free to tag me or share on Facebook. I'm all about sharing the inspiration, particularly as we move into 2026, so hopefully you'll find something useful on my YouTube channel and inspire your creativity. So I had a little incident with my recording and kind of missed the cutting of these pattern papers. Now I am using the Take Note collection from Simple Story. It's one of my fave collections at the moment, and I thought that this sketch would be a great way to use up some of the really pretty pattern papers without sort of being too overwhelming. Now off camera I have gone ahead and distressed the edges, so I use my little Tim Holtz distressing tool. And as you can see, I'm just using some adhesive to stick everything down, and then I'm going to go ahead and trim up those layers. And off camera later, I will also use tacky glue just to give everything a little bit more adhesion. Now, this series of photos is quite interesting. I know you might look at it and go, why is she scrapping pictures of the toilet? But the journaling element itself actually tells you all about this particular series of photos. This is our ginger girl squirrel, and she's not the snuggliest of cat. Let's just say she's a typical female. When it's on her terms, she's happy to take the snuggles, but it doesn't happen very often. And so in this case, she decided she was going to have a snuggle while I was getting ready for work in the bathroom right near the toilet. So I called in Coop and I said, how about you sit with her and have some snuggles while she's waiting for them? And I snapped a couple of photos, which was quite interesting. But yeah, this is basically just a memory from our life, because yeah, she's not a cuddler, but when she does cuddle, it tends to be in the most awkward of places. All right, so moving back to the layout, as you can see, I'm going to firstly mount this series of photos onto some cardstock just to give them some dimension. And I did initially choose that sort of thick as title, but it didn't work. Whether it was the color, I'm not exactly sure, but certainly it just didn't feel right. And back to the drawing board, this title feels much better. I'm also going to use black around my photo just to highlight them, and because I'm using minimal black on this page, it gives you that real pop against those background pattern papers. So if you're ever feeling like your photo's getting a little bit lost, a really simple trick is mount it on some black, or if you've already popped it down onto your layout, you can use just a thick black marker to edge around any elements that you want to stand out a little bit more. So there's generally a way to fix most things as we're getting creative and crafting. So certainly if you feel like you're a bit overwhelmed and you need to highlight something, black pen, black ink, pretty much anything that you can create shadow around, that will definitely help bring something to the forefront. All right, these embellishments are great. I love this little chipboard banner that I've tucked into that bottom right of the photo. We've got a little camera in the embellishment, using up some stickers. This just came together really easy. The sketch helped. I love the background. I know where my journaling's going to go. I'm going to print that out off camera. I'm going to do that on the computer with white and ink the edges of the white again, just with some black ink to help it stand out against those background papers. And it's at this point where I'm going to introduce a little bit more black again. I thought about stitching this off camera, but for me, wasn't the right type of element, but stitching would work depending on what you were using. So having a look at the finished product, that is my layout share for you today. Thank you so much for watching.